I'm overwhelmed daily, find the historical lies of the narrative of white supremacy and the nation that caters to white guilt and forces me to prove the equality of my blackness every day. I am overwhelmed listening to the voices of those who think they have this singular right to define and determine who belongs in America and who is an American when it was my forefathers and my foremothers who built this land. I am overwhelmed with gun violence and mass shootings and threats against historically black colleges and universities that ain't had nothing to do with anything that went down this past week. I'm overwhelmed with the culture of division and violence that this administration fuels and fertilizes with an inability to show compassion for those who are in need. I'm overwhelmed to find out that $75 billion is being directed to the policing and the detention of undocumented individuals, while Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security and food assistance and 300,000 black women have lost their jobs under this administration. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with ICE raids and Klan rallies and threats against the Smithsonian and corporations backing off of DEI and executive orders and Supreme Court rulings. I'm overwhelmed by folk who call themselves Christian simply because they invoke the name Jesus and quote scripture from the Old Testament, but never love like Jesus, never try to live like Jesus, never apply the Sermon on the Mount, bear no fruit of the Spirit. I am overwhelmed. And I do not celebrate the killing of anyone. Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be assassinated. But I'm overwhelmed seeing the flags of the United States of America at half-staff, calling this nation to honor and venerate a man who was an unapologetic racist and spent all of his life sowing seeds of division and hate into this land. And hearing people with selective rage who are mad about Charlie Kirk but didn't give a damn about Melissa Hortman and her husband when they were shot down in their home tell me I ought to have compassion for the death of a man who had no respect for my own life. I am sorry, but there's nowhere in Bible where we are taught to honor evil. And how you die does not redeem how you lived. You do not become a hero in your death when you are a weapon of the enemy in your life. I can abhor the violence that took your life, but I don't have to celebrate how you chose to live.